Hi kiddies, let's start our today's session. The topic for the day is position and direction from Unit 2B, Geometry. I repeat, the topic for the day is position and direction. These two are common terms that we use in our day-to-day life, the very same thing that we are going to discuss in our today's session. What you meant by position and direction in your day-to-day life is what we are going to discuss over here too. The very same concept, the very same idea, everything. So how these terms can be connected with our subject is going to be discussed today. So we'll start with our introductory part regarding the concept, position and direction. Let's see what position is. Position is a particular way in which something or someone is located. So how we use position, or for what purpose we are using the term position, is to locate something or someone in somewhere. So we used to say that something is over there, just go and take that lamp from the next room or take a cup of water from kitchen. So we are locating. That is what here explained as position. Now let's see what direction is. Direction to a point is stated as the number of degrees east or west of north or south. So what direction means? It is a point stated as. So how we point out direction, like it is 30 degree towards north or it is 45 degree towards east, like this. So how we are pointing direction is using the combination of degrees and direction, like east or west or north or south. So these are the things you are using in your day-to-day life. So I think I don't need to explain much more about these two common words, position and direction. Next comes ordered pair. What do you mean by this ordered pair? Ordered pair is a pair of letters or numbers that show a position on a grid. So ordered pair means it can be either letter, which means it can either be a pair of letters or numbers which shows a position on a grid. So if you're getting a grid and with the help of this ordered pair, you can find that position on that particular grid. So what this ordered pair means, it can be either a pair of letters or numbers. Next is axis. What do you mean by this axis? Axis is a line on a graph that is labeled with letters or numbers. So axis means while you're using graph, you can see lines on the graph. Those lines are called axis and it is labeled with letters or numbers. Now, I will give you a pictorial representation for a grid and axis so that you can understand much more better. Okay. See, this is known as a grid. Here you can see many square boxes and below you can see numbers 1, 2, 3 in the vertical way as well as horizontal way. You can see numbers from 1 to 6, which means the square boxes are called grid and those numbers which have written from 1 to 6 in vertical way as well as horizontal way are called axis. To represent that axis, here in this particular picture, I use numbers to represent. Instead of these numbers, you can put letters like alphabets too. Both are okay for this purpose. So this is what we call as axis, grid and all. Now you will understand ordered pair much more better when you do some application level of questions. So this is about our introductory part regarding the concept, position and direction. Hope this is clear for you. Now we will move on to our application level of questions. Here comes our application level of questions. Let's see the very first question. Shade the following squares on your grid. Okay, so these are the coordinates. I have already discussed what a coordinate is. It is a pair of letters or numbers that helps you to find the position on a grid. So here you can see that many coordinates, that is, for example, inside the bracket I gave you a pair of numbers like 2 and 3. So it is a coordinate. The next coordinate is 2, 4. The next one is 2, 5. So you can read out the coordinates like 2, 3, 2, 4, 2, 5, 3, 4, 3, 5, 4, 4, 4, 5, 5, 4, and 5, 5. So now you understand how a coordinate looks like, or how you can write a coordinate. Now the question is, with the help of these coordinates, we have to shade the following squares on the grid. So this is the grid. They have given you a grid, and you can see numbers from 1 to 6 in vertical as well as horizontal way. So with this help of number and using this coordinate, we need to shade the following squares. So shall we start doing the answer? Okay. So we will be going to shade the squares. So this is the grid, the very same grid. I just enlarge it. Now we will be going to shade it. Let's see how we can shade, or how we can find the position on a grid with the help of these given coordinates. Okay, now just see, the first coordinate is 2, 3. So the first 2 resembles this axis. This is x-axis, and here you can see this is a grid, and this is the x-axis, and this is the y-axis. Okay, understand? This is the x-axis and this is your y-axis. So suppose you are having a coordinate 2, 3, then the first this 2 represent the x coordinate and this 3 represent y coordinate. So to point or to find or to locate the position of this coordinate in this grid, how we are using is the coordinate is 2, 3, right? So the 2 represent in the x-axis. So this is the x-axis, 2 is this. Now 3 represent y-axis. Y-axis is this. So 2, then you need to find 3. So this is 2 and this is 3. So 2, 3. So this is the square box for 2, 3. If so, how will you find the square box for 2, 4? 2, 4, 2 in x-axis and 4 in y-axis. So this is 2, 4. 2 in x-axis, 4 in y-axis. So this is 2, 4. So now you understand how to locate the coordinates on a grid. Now we are going to shade all these coordinates. So let's start shading, right? So the first coordinate is 2, 3. So 2, 3 is, this is 2 and this is 3. So 2, 3 is this one is 2, 3. Okay, the next one is 2, 4. So there is 2 in x-axis, 4 in y-axis. So 2, 4 is a square box like this. Next is 2, 5. So 2, 5 is 2 in x-axis and 5 in y-axis. So that the square box is like this. So now we shaded 2, 3, 2, 4 and 2, 5. Now we are going to shade or locate the position of the coordinate 3, 4. 3, 4 means 3 in x-axis. 3 in x-axis and 4 in y-axis. So 3 in x-axis, 4 in y-axis. So this is the square box. Now 3, 5 means 3 in x-axis and 5 in y-axis. So the square box is this one. Now 4, 4. So 4, 4 means 4 in x-axis and 4 in y-axis. Now 4, 5 means 4 in x-axis and 5 in y-axis. So this is the box. Next is 5, 4. 5, 4 means 5 in x-axis and 4 in y-axis. So this is the box. Next is 5, 5. That is 5 in x-axis as well as 5 in y-axis. So while you locate these coordinates on this grid, you will be getting the shaded picture like this. Is this clear for you? Okay, so this is how the picture looks like. Hope this is clear for you. Shall we move to the very next question? Okay, here comes your second question. Look at the letter F drawn on the grid. Write down the position of each square that is shaded. So this is that grid where you can see the letter F drawn on the grid. Now, with this grid, you need to find the position of each square that is shaded. So shall we start doing the answer? Okay. So this is a grid where in the x-axis you can see the alphabets are marked A, B, C, D, and E. Now coming to y-axis, it is the numbers are marked like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in the previous question, they have given the coordinates and asked us to shade it. In the next question, that is in this current question, they just ask us to do the vice versa of this previous question. That is, here they have shaded. They have already given the shaded figure, and with the help of this shaded figure, we need to find the position of each square that is shaded. So we will be starting from this. Okay, we will be starting from the bottom part. Okay, so here in this square, you can see it is B, and in the x-axis it is B, and in the y-axis it is 1. Now what about this square? It is marked like x-axis B in x-axis and 2 in y-axis. So this is B comma 2. Now what about this square? X-axis B and y-axis 3. So it is B comma 3. What about the next one? This one. In x-axis it is B, and in y-axis it is 4. So it is B comma 4. Now coming to this one. It is in the x-axis B and in the y-axis 5. So all these square boxes are in connection with B as well as the corresponding numbers in the y-axis. So the coordinates are B comma 1, B comma 2, B comma 3, B comma 4, and B comma 5. Now coming to the next row. See here in the C part, that is like C part in the x-axis, the shaded one is, the very first shaded box is like this one. So this is in the x-axis C, and in the y-axis it is 3. So this is C comma 3, and this one Z in x-axis and 5 in y-axis. So this is C comma 5. Now what about the last box, this one? That is, it is in D in x-axis, like D on x-axis and 5 on y-axis. So it is D comma 5. So the coordinates are B comma 1, B comma 2, B comma 3, B comma 4, B comma 5. That is all these square boxes. Now coming to the C section, it is C comma 3 and C comma 5. And the last square box in connection with D and 5 is D comma 5. It's very easy, right? It's a simple concept. If you understand with these two questions, you can do any of the questions in connection with these concept coordinates or position and direction. Hope this is clear for you. Next comes a follow-up activity for you. It's like a small activity. See, draw a grid with 6 by 6 squares. Plot the route described below. Start at the dot so that you are facing in the direction of the arrow. Now move. They have given you some hints or directions how you have to move in the given grid, like 6 by 6 square grid. So if you are following all this square, the net result will be a capital letter. So just find out which capital letter you are getting. And the 6 by 6 square looks like this, and this is the arrow mark. From this point you have to start. Select forward 4 squares means 1, 2, 3, 4. Then turn right through 1 right angle means this is how 1 right angle. From that forward 2 squares. So forward 2 square 1, 2. So like this you have to follow the instructions given, and the net result will be a capital letter. Just find out that capital letter and share it me via Class Dojo. Okay. So that's all for today. Thank you.